All right, just really quickly, we are going to get into that connected energy for you, right? Because at the beginning of the reading, we were hearing Crazy in Love, specifically Homecoming version. And it seems to be kind of what's not like the central thing of all the bad things that's going, but domino effect, right? When it rains, it pours, right? One thing after another. And that seems to be like the starting point of this kind of tower moment that you're sitting in right now, which really isn't a tower, but it's a metamorphosis, and it just matters how you reframe it, how you decide to see it. And I just saw 111. All right, but let's get what's going on in this connected energy. Breaking point. So they're at their own breaking point. Kind of like something's got to give. Very much 10 of Wands energy. Intuition. Maybe like everything coming to a head and they're needing to trust their intuition. Or being forced to confront that they don't trust their intuition is also what I'm hearing. Heart fog, mixed signals. I take that as like heavier than like heartache, you know what I mean? Kind of like not knowing which way to go, not knowing which direction to go. Let's get two more. Second chance could be on their mind. And I heard this at the beginning of the reading, but I didn't vocalize it because anyway, and that was for a reason. One or both of you, but I'm more so picking up on them, but it could be a bit of you too as well. The whole crazy in love thing is just kind of like, this is boiling over, right? This love, this everything that happened, and wanting to come back, kind of being confused about it, knowing that they, knowing that there was so much pain, there's so much, a lot of mixed signals, a lot of back and forth, a lot of unsaid things, but this like nagging sense in their intuition that this is something that they should do. And that's why I think homecoming specific. Okay, come on. But of course, fearing rejection, timid, apprehensive, or maybe they're coming back for a second chance after you rejected them. It could also be that. It could also be that. I heard that for a reason. Let's confirm. Breaking point. I'm getting kind of like spiraling. They're kind of spiraling in this. Intuition. Didn't come out. Oh, but their pride is blocking this a little bit. And you know what? Coming up on that solar eclipse in Aquarius with the nodes shifting later this year, South Node being in Leo, that pride is being dismantled, baby. They're going through the mud for sure. Her fog. nourishment, but I also picked up conflict, which is funny because conflict was at the bottom of the deck and I didn't say anything. Nourishment was a big one for you. The big thing that you needed to focus on at this time. Heartfelt over the conflict makes sense, right? Like being conflicted, right? Over the blocked emotions, and really not even, because conflicted is its own card here in this deck. Like there being a lot of conflict over how this was messed up, how there were so many things left unsaid, right? Kind of just this very frustrated energy. Again, that's why Breaking Point came out at first, and they feel very hopeless about this because they know they messed up. They know they messed up. Let's get one more for nourishment. Normally I take it, but it didn't fall out. This one did. Obscurity. Shocking, terminal trouble. I mean, so it could be that why am I hearing wondering how you're doing, like if you're nourishing yourself, which is funny because this specifically, this nourish card speaks to self-growth, self-focus, self-healing. Something's veiled here. Something about that's veiled. Cloudy judgment at the bottom here. Something about that is. One more. Boundaries. I was hearing this and I didn't say it for a reason. I'm surprised spine doesn't come out, and I'd be surprised if spine doesn't come out, because what I was hearing with this, with the obscurity over nourishment and them kind of wondering this, you know, if they're kind of spying in on you, but also if you caught wind of that and maybe block them, maybe, you know, put up some boundaries, like, you know, access denied, right? Sort of energy. Second chance. And maybe that's also why they're so prideful at this time. Realizations. That's been confirming second chance for like the last week. And I'm hearing clarity. You know the song by Zed? You know the thing. Kind of like you're their clarity. Like just kind of realizing that they want this rejection. A lot of breakthroughs for them. Rejection. Only you. What? Influences. And right before I decided to actually do this reading, I knocked over this card, which is the Three of Cups verse, which speaks to third party, love triangle, rival, time alone, someone else in the picture. Influence is coming out here, and that probably playing a factor in the rejection. And now they're realizing that it's only you that they want. Realizations about how they rejected you, or maybe why you rejected them, because there were some influences, which is split to family and karma. So it could be familial, right? Influences, third party influences, you know, maybe had some opinions, had something to say about this. and these are all things that this is all what's coming to a head within their energy, right? This is where they're at, kind of wrestling with their intuition, wanting a second chance, but kind of just being very, very prideful, and feeling a bit hopeless, worried about like the boundaries that you put up, but also understanding that it's only you that they want, and how they sort of ruin this with these other influences, how they rejected this, right? Because of these third party influential figures. That's what's going on in their energy right now. I went to grab the archetypes, but then I, in my head, was saying animal spirits. We'll get one for both. Energy they're sitting in. Not meant. We might get that one later. Tell me more about this breaking point. How are you working on them at this time, Spirit? The animal. Their primal instincts, like their baser instincts at their core, how they react, how they respond to situations, people, things, right? Like when they're tested. Let's get one more. Jesus. This came out for you. I would take this and for them, I would take this and I mean for both of you, but very prominent for them, because this is what you're growing towards, realizing within you. The unbalanced state, like, you know, out of balance, imbalance, when they're speaking to overworking themselves, how they're prone to that. And how are you trying to grow them at this time? How are you trying to transform them? The temple. The temple. The judge at the bottom here. Let's get one more. Sheesh. Ooh, 3 came out. That's too many. Just one, please. One more. That, you know what, whatever. The seed. All right, we're just gonna read the temple and the seed. When we think of the temple, we often envision an architectural structure in a far-off land. We are quick to distance ourselves from the sacred, assuming we must expend much effort in order to arrive there. Yet the temple is a universal, omnipresent energy, accessible in the highest and lowest, richest and poorest of places. Visiting the temple might be as simple as stepping into the dappled light of the forest, slowly and sensually kissing a lover, or closing your eyes to travel inward. This card is a call to re-examine what you pay homage to and what you reject. What do you spend your time worshiping? Your phone, money, material goods? What barriers do you draw between yourself and the sacred? Perhaps there's room on your altar for something new, something surprising. Offer it to the heavens, the sanctuary, the shrine, the altar. Reverence for all. Life is a sanctuary. But yeah, I mean, we know, like overworking themselves, right? As a saner. this gives that they kind of treated you as you were expendable, and how that it wasn't just singled out for you. There's a word that I was looking for, but whatever. How that's something that they do, right? Going back to the animal, their baser instincts, who they are, their, you know, like their core, what, you know, what they react to and whatnot, and how they're kind of being asked to or grown, right, put through these trials of seeing the beauty in life, of respecting, having reverence. The seed. Beginnings come in many forms. They are not always a beautiful seed placed intentionally in nourishing soul. Origin stories, like any birth story, didn't I say that? Just at the, oh my goodness, that's crazy, are complex, surprising, multi-layered, and usually reveal a central image or detail that represents the fully formed being. Simply stated, the end is present in the beginning, or the entire oak tree resides within the acorn. Whether you follow this imaginal theory or not, know that when this card appears, there is potent generative energy all around. It stirs your very insides and usually results in an antsy, impatient feeling. Pay particular attention to what agitates you, as it is a sure sign of growth to come. You're bumping against a growth edge. It is from the grit that the pearl eventually comes to be. Generative, fertile, germinating. You also got that things were germinating. And it was going to start with this solar eclipse. I just saw 1717. Building. The true seed is elusive. If we follow any story toward its origin, it spirals farther and farther back in time. In this way, we are always the seed and always the fruit it bears. The beginning, the origin, the pearl. One of the alchemist's favorite images was the pearl. The irritant over time becomes the treehouse. What I mean, treehouses can be significant because why would I say that? Treasure. What is your grit? You know what? Taking it back to the animal, let's actually read the animal for them to get you a better understanding, and then we're gonna get just like what's coming next for you guys, or what could, right? What's in the energy and all of that. The beast, the wild one, the she-wolf. We are mammals. The hair on our chest and between our legs reminds us so. We try hard to deny our unrefined animalistic nature, yet through this archetype we tap into power and direction. Activating the animal within means reawakening our relationship to nature in the most broad and embodied sense. Drinking from waterfalls, roaring at the moon, opening eyes underwater, eating berries from the vine. The life force of our planet begs us to set down the devices, the constraints, the social constructs, and remember the warm blood that pulses through our veins. The animal longs for breath, food, procreation, physicality. It wants soil under our nails and starlight on our skin. If this all sounds terribly unsophisticated to you, take note that it is said that when Buddha became enlightened, he roared like a great lion. Where did I get? Notice where your resistance to the animal. Notice your resistance to the animal, then where does it come from? What has it kept you from doing, wild one? The animal demands we get comfortable in our own skin. The minute you accept, express, and celebrate the physical body, you tap into animal energy. Where did I get baser instincts from? I must have mixed it up with, regardless, I said it for a reason, but I had to mix it up with, but like our unrefined animalistic nature. We try hard to deny our undefined. That's why I went back and read this. Where is your grit, right? Like your grit is in the animal within you, how you like, you at your core, the animal within, the wild, the beast. Stop trying to tame the beast. If you're cross-watching, right? Like, and that's what they're working towards, like not taming their beast, letting their beast be what it is. Finding like the beauty in that and turning that into sustainable energy, not being ruled by the beast. You don't want to tame it, but you also don't want to be ruled by it, right? Yeah, okay. want to see how Spirit sees this. Spirit, how do you see this connection? We're just gonna get a couple. Oh, we missed one. Two of Cups. Companionship, mutual feelings, new partner, agreement, and sync, a living exchange. So like emotional equals for sure. Five of Swords, not by the rules, hostility, defeat, self-sacrificing, conflict, plot twist, abusive. I don't think abusive plays a factor here. Not by the rules. Hierophant reverse was very significant for you. You know, it could be what both of you were influenced, actually. That came out more in their energy, but I also didn't pull that deck for you. It could be that both of you were influenced and kind of overlooked this kind of being kind of, you know, it was in your ear that this person wasn't your match. Like, what are you doing with this person? You know, they don't match your lifestyle, they don't match this, they don't match that, you guys are incompatible. But it's like, actually, you guys are the perfect fit. Maybe they came out for a reason, but also like, you know, let's get into it. We'll see. Couple more, please, Spirit. How you see this connection? Ooh, the Chariot reverse, lacking direction. Seven of Cups, illusions, many possibilities, a lot of different roads y'all could go down. But the Three of Swords, oof, deep emotional pain, grief, disillusionment, sorrow, heartbreak, misunderstanding, depression. You know, but the Chariot reverse also speaks to facing opposition, right? We said, you know, there are people in your corners trying to, right? So it's like this could go, like it's unclear how this can go, right? But and I spoke about this with you about how perhaps that you guys ended because you were using it as a crutch, right? You didn't have to focus on your own shit when you were, you know, pouring everything and burying yourself in them. And so, you know, and maybe you were treating it like a shiny object, right? And in that way, not seeing it for what it was, thinking that there was something that was going to save you, that was something going to heal you. And maybe that, you know, so as you guys are emotional equals, right? There's a vulnerability, a rawness to this, right? You see each other. Are you good for each other? Let's confirm. Two of Cups. Page of Wands. I want one more for that. Page of Wands reverse came out in your energy, so Page of Pentacles. It has potential. I'll say that. That's all I'm getting with this. Like, it has potential to materialize, like, you know, for you guys to grow, like the energy of this connection to grow, and for you guys, you know, yourselves, like, to be something tangible here. There's potential. Five of Swords. Jesus. Ten of Swords. But this could go either way, right? This could be, right, because Five of Swords speaks to conflict of the mind. Both of you clearly are, you know, in the headspace, but also the Ten of Swords could be because the Five of Swords specifically also speaks to self-sacrificing. So it could be that this is the end of that, right? That you guys are finally dealing with your own shit so that you can come together, you know, a whole on your own, right? The Three of Cups here again, at the bottom of the deck here, the Chariot reversed. But that third party influence, it's something that's always going to kind of be in the background there. Okay, so over this lack of direction, this forcefulness, this powerlessness is the Death. Death. Daddy death. Complete renewal. Abrupt change, total overhaul, over and out, breakup, new start, let go, endings, beginnings. Three of Swords. The Moon reversed. Clear and purge. Releasing fear and anxiety. Something being unveiled. I mean, related to how you block love, how one or more of you block love, and it mean that this is both your energies. You both have this, right? This grief, this disillusionment regarding this relationship. But there's a release coming with that, and we spoke about that within your energy. Seven of Cups. Hierophant. One more for that. The Lover's reversed. Misaligned values. Hierophant speaks to values. Eight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck here. One more. The Lover's reversed. King of Pentacles reversed. Four of Wands reversed. I mean, your energy came out of a greed, a focus on materialism, needing to prove yourself, your worth through your material surroundings, right? That kind of being the thing that drove you, something that you really needed to focus on, something that was really hindering you. Four of Wands reversed here, lack of support, disunion, unwelcome. I mean, let's get one more for that, because we know that, but it's like that's a huge hindrance for you guys. That's a big uphill battle for you guys, right? Because we spoke about within this deck here, family being a huge factor. Splitting to possibilities is crazy though. We're gonna take that, right? Family is a huge thing here. Third party energy, and that's something that's always going to be in the background. And so I mean, you gotta choose your battles. Is that worth it? Is that worth it? But at the same time though, there is this King of Pentacles reversed energy over this. But Hierophant's also my High Priest though. Maybe you want to see them as that, and they're really not that, right? Maybe they want to appear as that, but really they're still sitting in this King of Pentacles reverse energy. Maybe you are, right? One or both of you. That's a huge thing. Let's get one more. Ace of Wands, lack of direction, but bubbling under the surface. We know that this came out within your energy, right? You both are at this breaking point, this kind of tipping point. I think this could go either way. What's Spirit's advice? Spirits, what's your advice for them? I believe that's either the Star or the Justice that came out. Justice. And the Eight of Wands, thank God it's not the Eight of Wands reversed, the Eight of Swords reversed. The energy that you put in, the work that you do, is the bounty you will receive. You want this? Why did I just start hearing? Gotta get your head in the game. You gotta get your head in the game. High School Musical has been coming out a lot in counterpart readings. Crazy. Queen of Swords reversed. Guys, and I talked about how you're really, really hard on yourself. Harsh, pessimistic, critical, calculating, abrupt, gossip, scattered, easily influenced, clouded vision, devoid of emotion. That's something you're really gonna have to like really, really kind of work through. And we kind of said this, right? The spirit was guiding over you, but spirit's over this union as well. This is beyond your control. It's beyond your control. This is, I mean, this is not without its challenges, and it really just depends. It depends on the work that you do, the work that they do, and if your wheels are aligned at that time. And I was gonna get this deck here. I call this my toxic deck. Communicate at the bottom here though. I'm just gonna get 3, and I feel like I already know what's gonna come out. What's coming within the next 6 months? Let's just 6 months, right? Because you had that cosmic trigger card, right? The next 6 months for the two of them, for this connection, please, spirit. Cycles. Me at the wheel. We know this. The first card with the wheel reversed. I mean, the first identifier with the wheel reversed is challenges. Challenges coming out. I mean, you just got a lot of work, a lot to work through. Hold on, one more, because we said 3. Cycles, challenges. Communicates. Maybe you're going to communicate about the cycles and the challenges that you guys have faced thus far. Maybe about some health issues, right, that were playing a factor. Cycles. Moving. Change of residence. Moving in with your partner. I don't think you guys are going to be moving in with each other. And if you are, it means you guys have already lived together, and this is a cycle that you're repeating, and it's something that y'all don't need to be doing. But we could just take this just non-literally, and just, you know, moving through cycles. I've never gotten that for the card, but that did come up, so, you know, we'll take it. Challenges. Okay, nothing came out. Challenges. That flew out. Hold on. This is exactly what I expected getting this. Like, divine timing, right? Beyond your control. Beyond your control. Divine's watching over this. Last one, communicate. Clearly, I mean, there's going to be some type of what I say next is going to depend on what card comes out next to confirm this. And I'm looking for one specific card. And if it doesn't come out, date night. Wasn't flipped over. Air sign. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We said Aquarius energy is big here. Okay, hold on. This is good. This is good. It didn't come out. It's not a major focus, but I shit you not, this is the card I was looking for. Because it's like there's challenges, like, you know, this is beyond your control. Let divine timing take it, like, run its course and all that. But communicate came out. Date night confirming communicate. And so with date night, it's like, okay, maybe, you know, maybe nothing's solidified within the next 6 months, but maybe the door starts opening, right, with communicate and date night coming out. And this is the card that I wanted to see, right? to open up your heart, to be open to it. This is the card that I wanted to see. This is good. This is really, really good. But it's also a confirmation here with air sign, right? Air speaks to communication, right? It's swords energy. It's within the next 6 months. If you guys aren't speaking at this time, there's going to be some sort of communication coming within the next 6 months. We'll tap back into this energy. Do the work that you need to be doing, and they will, if you guys are pairs. Yeah, you know, but you know, leave your heart open to it. Anything can happen. We're in the business of miracles here. I want to see if literally this is the last thing. We're not going to read into anything that comes out unless one of 4 cards comes out about this connection, regarding this connection, Spirit. We'll give it 4. Okay, that's not bad. Commitment did come out. That wasn't the card that I was looking for. It wasn't the card that I deemed in my head. So all I'll say is don't take the silence for this being cursed. It's not. I won't put a spell on either one of you guys. This is just the will it play, like I said. Commitment did come out. There is depth to this. How this goes, no one knows. The cards specifically that I was looking for was either the soulmate, the twin flames, or divine feminine, divine masculine. One of those 4. None of those 4 came out. None of them were at the bottom of the deck there. But there's a reason why, and there's a reason why I split this. Open your heart. Receptive, empathy, vulnerable. You take that as you take that as you will. And then I split again. I shit you not to return. So we'll check back in with this. This was tea. This was tea. Anyway, I love you so much. I hope this helped. I said I was only going to give y'all like 15 minutes of this, and here we are, like almost 45 minutes into this reading, but it needed to be explored. So whatever. Have a wonderful day. Bye.